Alrighty, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle here, and before we get started, I will address the elephant in the room. I was wearing pajamas. It's winter time, and I like to be cozy. So, this is my gaming update number 9. It's been about 2 months, a little bit more than 2 months since I did my last one. There's a lot of games I picked up. Not as many, well, I did play quite a lot, but I hurt my wrist, or specifically my forearm. So I wasn't able to play games for a good 2 to 3 weeks, especially it happened like right after I got the PS4. Horrible timing, but I'm starting to be able to play games a little bit more now because it's starting to heal up. I don't know what, I think I pulled a muscle. Either way, not very fun when you just get a new PS4 and a bunch of new games with it. So anyway, let's get on with this because there's still quite a lot of games to talk about. Let's start it off with Pokemon Y. That's a good way to start it off. Pokemon Y was probably one of my most anticipated games of the year, and it lived up to the hype. Maybe not exactly what I expected, but still very good. And what I like about this is how streamlined it is. Like, you, in the first hour, it's been a while since I played it because I played it all in October. You in the first hour, you have your first gym badge, and you have like your first 6 Pokemon already. Like, it's just boom, boom, boom. I love it. No wasted time, really. I kind of expected a little bit more with the 3D environment, because it's not top down anymore, but it's not full 3D. It's more like on an angle, kind of like Diablo, if that makes any sense. Which still looks nice, but it's not full 3D all the time. But the scenery in this, like whenever you go to like a specific new location, they do go through that the correct angle, and it looks nice. Still, really fun game. It took me about under 30 hours to beat it, and I picked it up with my girlfriend on day 1. She got Pokemon X, and she went with, what's the name? I went with Froakie, and I regret that because I always go with the water types just because they're usually my favorite. But Froakie's last evolved form, I didn't look at it until because I wanted to be all new and fresh. And I was like, ew, I don't really like it. Greninja or whatever, I don't really like, I don't know. He looks, yeah, I like his cute Froakie version, but the last evolution does not do anything for me. Chespin, I think, is what I would have gone for instead. I forget the fire type name, but that's who my girlfriend went with, is the fire type Pokemon. And then I ended up picking up Bulbasaur later on down the road, but I think that for my next playthrough of this game, I'm going to go with Chespin and eventually pick up Squirtle. Squirtle's like one of my favorite of all time, if not my favorite, along with Blastoise. I just love those Pokemon. But yes, Pokemon Y had a very good time with this, and I look forward to playing it again for a second time. Next up is another 3DS game, Hometown Story. Now this is by the creators of Harvest Moon, so it's published by Natsume. I think that's how you pronounce it. And instead of going with a Harvest Moon game, they went in a different direction here. And Hometown Story is you own your own shop. So whenever, for example, in a Harvest Moon game, there's always like a shop that you can sell stuff and items. And that's what this is. You are the shop owner. And it's kind of like in the same vein of Harvest Moon. You can marry people. I think I'm not. Yeah, you can. You can get married. I'm not too far into the game. But you own a shop, and you kind of figure out what people like, and then you start like putting more items that they like. So when a specific person shows up, you can put out their favorite food or something like that, and charge them a little bit more or something. And it's interesting and different, but I don't think this is for everyone. I would definitely recommend Harvest Moon before this kind of game. This is like if you're a huge Harvest Moon fan and you want to try something a little bit different. This might be up your alley. To give it a shot, I'd suggest looking at some gameplay of the game first before jumping into it, because it's very different and it's not my favorite, but it's nice. It's a nice change of pace. Another 3DS game, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I finally picked this game up with my girlfriend around Halloween, and we had some fun with this. I'm about halfway through. And I really enjoy it. I haven't played co-op yet, actually. For some reason, we wanted to play co-op, but we just ended up playing the single player. Like, we would just be in the same room and playing single player. But we really like this. I did not expect it to be this good. You just go around in a big mansion, searching every nook and cranny. That's I kind of maybe like the exploration and finding items in this game. But just going around and busting ghosts is pretty fun in this game, and slowly upgrading your character, and the puzzles are actually pretty good too. I did not expect this game to be that good. and I look forward to going back and actually beating it, and then actually trying out the multiplayer aspect of the game. Next up we have Yeees 1 and 2 Chronicles on the PSP, and this is the premium edition. These are... I got this because the fourth one was coming out, Celcita, Memories of Celcita on the Vita, and I wanted to pick that up, but I wanted to play the first few games to get an idea. I played through the first one. It's not very long at all, and it was pretty enjoyable. It's different because it's a top-down RPG where you go around and you battle monsters, but you walk up to them. That's how you attack them. There's no turn-based or anything like that. You just go around. You don't attack. You don't attack with A. You just, as long as you hit them, that's how you attack them. And you have to go by a different angle, because if you go like head on, they can damage you. But if you go on an angle, you can do damage. So it's pretty interesting, and the graphics I think are very old school, but also kind of modern. So I really liked from what I played of the first one, and now I just need to start the second one, go on with that, and eventually pick up the third one, and then I can play this one over here. Okay, next up, Grand Theft Auto 5. So I talked about this in my last one. I don't remember how far I was into the game, but I finally beaten it. It took me 45 hours to beat this game. Wow, I did not expect it to be that long, but throughout the entire thing, I don't think that there's really any wasted time. There's a few things in the storyline where I was just kind of just like, eh. I find that, I don't even remember their names now, but I really enjoy Travis. My goodness, I cannot remember their names. I think his name's Travis. This character right there. It's been a while. His character is hilarious. At the beginning, I was kind of like, he's just too far out there. But then I started really starting to like his character, along with, I think, Frank's one of them. Oh, man, I feel horrible. Do I have a list of names? Probably not. Michael, I know, is one of them. Michael, I like. But the thing is that I just wanted to help out Michael with his family. At some points, you do that. But I find that they still argue a little bit too much for my taste. It's a different kind of game, and the humor is there sometimes, but the best thing about this game is just the exploration. I would take time to sometimes just, I would see like a mountain, and I'd be like, okay, I want to get to the top of that mountain and see what's up there. So I would get an ATV, and I'd try to get as high as I could up there. And it's funny because it's a mountain, there's kind of sometimes trails that you can follow, but then the higher you go, the trails get rockier and like not as, it's not that much of a trail anymore, like as it would be in real life. And there's just so much attention to detail. Like that's just one example of like so many in this game. Like you can be walking around in the wilderness and all of a sudden like a cougar will come and attack you and kill you. It's awesome. There's just so much in this game. The flying and the map, my goodness, the map is freaking gigantic. I did play a little bit online, but I would prefer playing with a group of people that I know. It's just mayhem. It's fun, but I think I would enjoy it a lot more if I had some friends online that I knew, and we could just go around doing specific missions or just killing a bunch of people as well. That would be fun. And the best part of this game, well, other than the exploration and just doing whatever you want to do, the heists in this are so freaking good. You kind of choose if you want to go in like loud and heavy, or smart and not making aware that you're doing something, and you have to prepare for these heists, and then once the heists start going, it's just mayhem, and I love it. And it depends on how you pick your crew as well. So a really good crew gets paid a lot, so you won't get as much of the cash, but everything will run smoothly, whereas a really cheap crew are going to be horrible. And they like a lot of things will go wrong, but that kind of makes it fun too. And you can go back and replay any of these missions just by clicking on that mission. It's awesome. So I love Grand Theft Auto 5. Definitely one of my favorites of the year. Next up, another one of my favorites of the year, Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. This is the first official must-own according to the world. This guaranteed you will like it. I still say that Nintendo Land is... I enjoy this probably more, but Nintendo Land, my goodness, that is the reason why you should own a Wii. So if you do get a Wii U, pick up Super Mario 3D World and Nintendo Land. Those games are fantastic. But let's get back to Super Mario. Super Mario 3D World is kind of like a mix of all like Galaxy and Super Mario 3D Land is more like what it's like, but along with New Super Mario Bros. Because you can play up to 4 characters, 4 players at once, and that is awesome. I love that. It's just mayhem, and because that you're not side-scrolling, you're able to go into this 3D environment, and you have all these characters going. It's just insane. It was crazy enough with 4 people in New Super Mario Bros. You or we, but this is just insane. And the power-ups, the cats are pretty awesome, but it's the double cherries where you create duplicates of yourself. It's just so fun, and the level designs in this. I'm not done yet. I'm at the last world, the 8th world, and the level design is so smart. Like not exactly the puzzles, because there's no real puzzles, but the platforming is just so smart, and I loved it. I'm trying to think of examples. Probably my favorite are the ones where you can ride like a dinosaur. That's not really innovative, but there's just I can't think. And I just finished playing a little bit of it recently. But the rain too in this game, random, but when it's raining, it looks so much more epic and a little bit more mature. Like it's a more serious Mario. I don't know why, but it's just the rain levels do that, and I'm like, man, this feels more like more intense, and it doesn't necessarily. It feels like Mario still, but a little bit more. You take him a little bit more seriously, and I like that. I would wish that Nintendo would maybe make a little bit more of a mature. It can still be rated E for everyone, but maybe not as happy as this. Like have Mario kind of like Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy. Those are a little bit more. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, right? Yes, you do. Okay, alright, thank you. So yeah, very awesome game, and I'm getting close to beating it. I'm at 10 hours now, but that's playing multiplayer as well in a different world. Like I have 2 levels going, one by myself, where I'm at World 8, and another one where I'm at maybe World 3 or 4. So it's not too long, but there's a lot of replayability, my goodness. Definitely a lot. There's one that's kind of like a Mario Kart world, where it's a track and you kind of you're just going down the slide and jumping at the appropriate times. So fun. I love Super Mario 3D World. Okay, now let's get on to the PS4 games. And just before I get into my PS4 games here, my favorite out of all of these, out of all the PS4 launch games, would be Resogun, which isn't even here because it is a PSN title. I'm going to start including more games that I play that are not physical formats, because there's a lot of good ones, and Resogun is my favorite. I have 6 PS4 games here, and I would say Resogun was the best one. It's just so fun. It's a shooter made by the people that made Super Stardust. So you know what you're getting into, and you just go around on this like 180-degree plane, side-scrolling, back and forth, and it's a shooter, and all you do is you kill the keepers, who are like these very shinier green enemies, and when they show up you kill them, and then it releases a human, and then you save the human. That's pretty much it, and you just keep going. You don't have to necessarily save the human, but the points rack up a lot faster when you do that. And it's just so fun. It's mayhem everywhere, and it looks so nice. The amount of particle effects is just astounding. I love that game, and it came free with PlayStation Plus, so that's a bonus too. So if you want to get into the PS4, get a PlayStation Plus, because that's how you play online. But they also give a lot of free games, and Resogun was one of them, and it would have cost you normally $15 instead. So right there, that's worth it. That's worth the price of admission, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go on with the physical games that I did pick up. I picked up Lego Marvel Superheroes because I wanted to play a game with my girlfriend, and we're maybe, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours into this game. It's pretty enjoyable, but I didn't really like the camera work, but I found out that later from my friend Kevin here, KNorth2 on YouTube, that you can actually switch it so that it doesn't, because it kind of, like, you'll be running and it'll just be on the one screen, and then if you get too far, it'll change, but depending on where you are, like if my character's over here and my girlfriend's character would be over here, the screen would split like this. So, and then depending on when you move, so it's kind of moves depending on where you go. So if you're moving like that, like it would be really, it'd be nauseating almost. It kind of seemed cool, but when you move too fast, it would just be like horrible. Other than that, it's pretty fun. It's a Lego game, so you do solve little puzzles. The action isn't really that great, but the puzzles, I enjoyed the puzzles, and it's the license that they used. Marvel superheroes, and all of them are there, and all the villains. That's the best part of this game. Next up would be Knack, which has really received horrible ratings, and I would say that I enjoyed playing this over Lego's Marvel Superheroes because you can actually play 2 players, and it's really fun. It's a platformer that is not innovative in any way, and that's I think why this game isn't getting the best reviews. But I really enjoyed it, and it's just done well. It looks nice. The story is nothing to write home about either. It's actually pretty bad. That I would say is a negative. But the platforming is fun. It's a platformer done well, and it's difficult enough too. Like you really have to replay it over again. They said that they wanted to kind of create something like Crash Bandicoot, where it's frustrating and well, it's hard, but it's not. It's fair, and it is fair. So that's what Knack is, and I'm about halfway through with my girlfriend, and I'm only allowed to play this with my girlfriend. So that's why I haven't beaten it yet. Because I really wanted to, but she's like, no, we're playing that game, and that's her favorite game of the launch games too, so I'm sticking to that rule. Next up is Killzone Shadowfall. I'm only playing the multiplayer because I haven't played the single player campaigns of the first 3. I have them all now, but I still have not played them, so I've just played the multiplayer. Really good. It looks really nice. This is probably, other than, well, Resogun looks really nice because of the particle effects, but it doesn't, like, there's so much more detail in this game, so this is the better looking game. But it's still not, it's definitely better than anything on the PS3 and Xbox 360 by far, but it's not like a huge leap. This is, out of the 3 games that I talked about so far, this is the best looking one, but it's still not something that I would write home about and say that, like, you know, when we first had we saw the PS2 graphics compared to the PS1, we were like amazed, right? We were so wowed. Same thing with the leap from the PS2 to the PS3. Same thing, but this is not a huge leap. It still looks nice and looks better, and I don't think they could ever do something this good looking on the Xbox 360 or PS3, but not just that of a huge leap, but still quite a fun shooter so far. Nothing to write home about, but I was enjoying myself. And the next 3 games here are Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, and Assassin's Creed 4. I picked these 3 up because they were having a sale not too long ago, like a week after Call of Duty Ghosts, not even a week after Call of Duty Ghosts was released, where a Future Shop here in Canada, and Best Buy as well, was having a sale where you traded in any game from the current generation. So Xbox 360, or at the time it was current generation, so Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, 3DS and Vita, I think. Any of those games, you could trade in like Madden 07, or like any game you wanted, and you would get either one of these for free. So you trade in 3 games, 3 crappy games, you know, Madden 07, Madden 08, Madden 09. I'm just saying that because it's sports games and they go so far in value as the years go by. And you could get all of Battlefield, Assassin's Creed, and Call of Duty for free. That's insane. That's $180 for a trade-in of 3 crappy games. So obviously I jumped on it. Well, I didn't jump on it. My girlfriend did, because I was working the day when I found out about this, and I'm like, I need you to go do this. And she's like, okay, I will do this for you. So she went and traded in. So I thank her very much for doing that. And then after that, I just did the trade-in for $10 each to the next generation of consoles, because I got them for the PS3. The new consoles weren't out, obviously, by that time. So eventually I will get around to playing them at some point, but it's just that, you know, Grand Theft Auto and Super Mario 3D World took precedence over them, and the other games I played as well. And now we're just getting into a bunch of games that I haven't played yet, but I picked up just because they were cheap. They were having a sale. I can't remember. It came up to, I think, $20 for these 2 games. Little Big Planet on the PSP, because I want to start collecting more for the PSP and playing more for the PSP, and Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, which I'm really excited to play because Vice City is my favorite GTA game of all time, so I'm quite excited to try this out. And Phil Collins, I think, is a character in this, so that's just so awesome. Next up, I picked up these 6 games at once. New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS, which I'm going to be playing soon. My girlfriend has it, so I think there's a co-op in that, so we're going to try that out. Scribblenauts for the DS. I have some Professor Layton games here. Professor Layton and the Curious Village, and the Diabolical Box. I wanted to get this, mainly I got this entire lot because that I wanted to start the Professor Layton series, which I haven't yet, but I'm going to be doing that hopefully next year. And then I just saw from the seller that he was selling these games for dirt cheap, so I picked them up as well. The first Brain Age, and Spectrobes, which is like this kind of like RPG made by Disney, I believe, which is interesting. And there's another one on the DS, a sequel, and one on the Wii. That if it's good, I will definitely pick it up. Here are just some cheap games that I picked up. Twisted Metal, and I think this, yeah, I got the limited edition for $10, still sealed, brand new. And I have played this. I'm already almost done beating the game. I'm at the last boss with my friend who has this. So I definitely, I know what the game is like, and it's freaking awesome. So for $10 I had to pick it up. Yeah, and then considering I'm technically almost done beating the game, just over at my friend's place, I still got to go back there and beat it. Next up, I think I picked this up also for $10, is the Shadow of the Colossus and Eco collection. And it's still sealed because, and I really want to play these games, but I've never played them before. And I have Shadow of the Colossus on the PS2, but I'm thinking that I might want to try them on the PS2 first, experience the games as they were made, because these are some of the best ranked games of all time. Like, these are games that you need to play, apparently. And it seems reasonable. Like, I've looked a little bit into each of these games, and they seem very much like I would want to play them. But I think I'm going to play them on the PS2, and then eventually play the HD classic remakes afterwards, so that I can experience exactly how everybody else experienced it and as they were made, and then later on, when I want to replay those games, play them on the HD. I picked up Tomb Raider on the Xbox 360 for $30. This was back like a while ago. Have I talked about any of these games? I might have last time. They're still sealed because I just haven't played them yet. And it came with the I don't know. It's like, it's not the limited edition, but it's like the first run, which came, it's like a little bit thicker, and it comes with like a comic book. It looks like a graphic novel from Dark Horse. So that's kind of cool. I like when they just add like an extra case that's bigger. Yeah, I'm easy to please. Next up are 2 Wii U games here. Target in Canada is just freaking awesome. Like, they always have good sales. Tank for $10 and Game & Warrior for $20. Might have overpaid on this one a little bit because apparently it's not really good ratings, but I'm gonna try it out for myself. Next up would be Knight's Journey to Dreams for $5 that I picked it up. And Cameo Elements of Power on the Xbox 360, also for $5. So it's like, this is a good time to boost up your older systems. And my last 2 that I picked up are Yee's Memories of Salsita. This is the limited edition. The Silver Anniversary Edition, which I did an unboxing on my channel. Really awesome stuff. Like, this is just so, I love everything that's included. Haven't played it yet. Same thing with The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. And this is the limited edition. The one that came with the Ganondorf figure. And I picked it up just so that I could have that and not pay crazy amounts, because I know that it's worth so much more online now. And and that's why I also picked this one up. I will play them eventually. It's just I picked them up now so I don't have to spend that much more later on. So there you have it. That is my gaming update number 9, and I will be talking to you all probably after Christmas. Maybe before, but in case I don't, I would like to wish you all a happy holidays, and for those of you that do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, and I will see you all after that with my Christmas and Boxing Day pickups. So, you've been Bearded, and thanks for watching, everyone. Beardage!